What's good, everybody? RJ Shelton here, back with another episode of Midwest Recap. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful weekend. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. Packers went ahead and lost to the Lions 31-34. Jordan Love was 12 of 20 from the field, 206 yards throwing and one touchdown. Josh Jacobs had 18 carries for 66 yards and 3 TDs. Christian Watson had 4 receptions for 114 yards. Tough loss. You can go ahead and say, the refs might have had a little say in this in regards to some plays that didn't go our way or that were called not in our favor from both ends. A prime example, one that really sticks out to me, when Jared Goff was basically handing the ball off, his knee was down before he handed it off. That wasn't called. That went ahead. That play continued. Another one, offensive lineman went ahead for the Lions and approached Quay Walker, kind of went ahead and taunted him, and then Quay Walker just, got to get out my face situation. Obviously, the second man always gets caught, but that was a physical game, and you just go ahead and let the players play. The refs literally had their hands on the flag a lot this game and really just didn't let these guys play. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, we got to score points in touchdowns, not field goals, touchdowns in key situations. Toward that time in the third quarter when we can go ahead and put 7 up, or the second half, or whichever quarter it was in the second half, we had an opportunity to go ahead and take the lead. We ended up in field goals, so it's just like we got to go ahead and get over that hump. We have got to score, especially in tight games like this and against good opponents like the Lions. So tough one, but we do go ahead and play another day. We go ahead and face the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. That'll be a tough one as well, but we got to go ahead and get that one. And then moving on over to the Wisconsin University Athletics. Obviously, we all know that the Badger football team is not going to go to a bowl game. So then we're going to go ahead and switch it on over to obviously the Badgers men's basketball team. They went ahead and faced Marquette. They lost that one 74-88, but they do go ahead and face Illinois, which will be another big-time game. Both those teams are ranked. Wisconsin's 11th, Illinois 19th. They go ahead and play on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, which is today. And then they go ahead and face Butler in Butler Saturday, December 14th. And then moving on over to the Bucks. The Bucks went ahead and faced the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday. They won that one 118-113. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. Damian Lillard had 15 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds. Bobby Portis Jr. playing very well this game, had 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Gary Trent Jr., which is a guy that is an X factor on this team. If he goes ahead and shoots at a high clip from wherever, 2.3, he's going to go ahead and be kind of one of our unsung heroes this season. If he's playing good, the Bucks are playing good. And then obviously we have Chris Middleton back, which is huge. He had 11 points, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. The Bucks go ahead and face the Magic today. And then Friday they go ahead and face the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Saturday they face the Wizards, and then they're off on Sunday. We got, three big games obviously this week for the Bucks. Bucks right now in the Eastern Conference standings is 6th. If we can go ahead and just battle within that 1 to 6 range, we'll definitely be in good position when it comes to playoff time, but a long way to go. Moving on over to the Minnesota area, Vikings went ahead and put a beat down on the Atlanta Falcons. They went ahead and won that one 42-21. Sam Darnold was 22 of 28 from the field, 347 yards throwing and 5 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had 13 carries for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Jordan Addison had 8 receptions for 133 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Justin Jefferson obviously was in the mix as well. He had 7 receptions for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. This team is clicking. They got every piece that they need on the offensive end, and especially on the defensive end. They can continue to go ahead and play like they did this past weekend. They're going to be a tough team to beat. They're second in the NFC North right now behind the Lions. This was a great game for them to go ahead and get established, a big win going into, obviously, championship months that are coming up against very soon. Come around that playoff time, because obviously you're going to make the playoffs. So it's good to go ahead and stack good games going into that. They go ahead and face the Bears on Monday night at 7 p.m. I would expect that to be a game where they take care of business just like they did against the Atlanta Falcons. But it is The NFL, you got to come out fast. You got to come out with a sense of urgency on both sides. But I think the Vikings are going to take care of that. They go ahead and face the Bears 7 p.m. This coming Monday. Go for football. They're going to a bowl game. They got ahead and accepted to the Duke Mayo Bowl. That one's in Charlotte. They go ahead and face Virginia Tech. PJ Fleck is 5-0 in bowl games. I expect him to go 6-0. I'm always going to take the Big Ten teams when it comes to the bowl season. So can't wait for that to happen. That one is January 3rd. I don't know the time, but January 3rd is when that game will be played. And then moving on over to the Timberwolves, they went ahead and faced the Golden State Warriors. They went and lost that one 106-114. That was played this past Sunday. Julius Randle had 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Anthony Edwards had 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Alexander Walker had 19 points. Conley Jr. had 12 with 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Timberwolves 12-11 right now. Do you worry? I don't think you need to worry if you're a Timberwolves fan. There's a lot of ball left. They are ranked 9th right now in the Western Conference. Do I think they'll go ahead and make a push before the new year? Absolutely. They have the Lakers this Friday, and then Sunday they have the Spurs. Those are 2 games that I think they definitely can go ahead and take. And then moving over to the Illinois area, tough one for the Bears. This past weekend, they lost 38-13. Caleb Williams was 17 of 23 from the field, 134 yards, throwing 2 TDs. Swift had 14 carries for 38 yards, and DJ Moore had 6 receptions for 49. I mean, they couldn't get anything going in the first half. I think up to the third quarter, the Chicago Bears only had 2 total yards of offense to San Francisco's 310 yards. It's unacceptable. Yeah, you're going through coaching changes and things like that, but for you not to go ahead and score a single point in the first half on a San Francisco 49ers team that was banged up tremendously, that's not good. You know, I keep saying this for the Chicago people, especially Bear fans. You look at Caleb Williams' stats, he's not throwing interceptions. He's playing efficient football. It's on your own line. Your offensive line is dog shit. You can't get any type of protection. That's got to be a big emphasis this offseason is to get guys to protect Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams is a talent and you need to go ahead and protect him. And when you do, you see what happens. So there ain't nothing else to really get into with that. As I did mention earlier, they have to go ahead and go back on the road, another NFC North division game. They face the Vikings. You know, I don't know what to tell you on that, but from what I saw, this past weekend, not looking good. They go ahead and face those good Vikings on Monday at 7 p.m. Illinois football, they are heading to a bowl game. They went ahead and accepted their invitation to go ahead and play in the Citrus Bowl against South Carolina. That should be a very good game. South Carolina is a good ball club. Come on the SEC. That should be a battle. I said earlier with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Gophers, I always rock with the Big Ten team. So I got Illinois in that one. But you got to go ahead and come on and play, because that South Carolina team is for real. They just came off of a huge win, not this past week, but the weekend before against Clemson, beating them at Clemson. So we shall see what happens there. And then moving on over to the Chicago Bulls. They did play yesterday as well on Sunday. They lost to the 76ers 108-100. Zach LaVine had 30 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Cody White had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Josh Giddey had 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. Chicago Bulls 10th right now. That's not a bad place to be. Make a push to go ahead and kind of creep up in, that top 8 within the Eastern Conference. These games that you got coming up. Friday, you go ahead and face the Hornets. That should definitely be a game you take. And then that previous week, you go ahead and have you are at the Raptors in Toronto. So those are 2 games you definitely go ahead and take care of to kind of go ahead and make that push to get in that, top 8 when it comes to being a seed in the Eastern Conference. And then last but not least here, moving on over to the Detroit area, Michigan area. The Lions did went ahead and beat the Packers 34-31. Jared Goff, 32 of 41 from the field. 283 yards throwing, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. David Montgomery had 14 carries for 51 yards and 1 touchdown. And Jameson Williams had 5 receptions for 80 yards. Just another game that you go ahead and just mark up a win for the Lions. You did what you needed to do, clinch the NFC North. Probably going to be the team that has to go ahead to be the ones to get in the NFC, or the first seed. Expecting to go ahead and play there again, to go ahead and be in the NFC North Championship game, to head to the Super Bowl. 12-1 is tough to do, but you have the team to do it. Everyone's playing, the way they need to play from a quarterback position. Everyone's doing their role. Everyone's tugging on the same side, doing what they need to do to put themselves in position like they are right now. So big win for the Lions. They go ahead and face the Bills at home. The Bills just went ahead and lost last week to the Rams. So they're definitely going to be coming out hungry to go ahead and get back in that, get another win in the column for them. That should be a good game. Josh Allen's playing very well. Good defense, especially got weapons on the outside that Josh Allen can throw to. You just got to go ahead and do what you've been doing. Protect home field. That place should definitely be rocking at Ford Field. But you can't come out slow. Josh Allen is definitely playing at the MVP level. You got to take care of business. Michigan State football, obviously that is well done. We're not making a bowl game. We've already I have, and obviously people on my show, we've already talked about, that situation in regard to what needs to happen to get back to where we are going to bowl games. So now we get to go ahead and talk about the men's basketball. They're third right now in the Big Ten. They played this past weekend. They went ahead and beat Nebraska 89-52. What I saw with the highlights and watching it in a little bit of the first half, I'm liking what Tom Izzo has with this ball club. Got guys bought in, ready to play every single night. So I'm excited and ready to see what the future holds for this ball club. They go ahead and face Oakland tonight. And then I believe this Saturday they play Florida Atlantic. That one's in East Lansing as well. Both games are in East Lansing. So that should be a good one to go ahead and watch. And I'm excited to see what they got moving forward, like I said earlier. And then last but not least here, Detroit Pistons this past weekend had a huge game against the New York Knicks. They went ahead and beat them 121-11. Cade Cunningham, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. He's got to be an all-star this year. If he continues to go ahead and provide this type of output for his team, they're definitely going to go ahead and be flirting with getting into the playoffs this year. He's just got to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing with him. But when I go ahead and see other people on here contributing, Beasley, 23 points, Ivy, 16, Duran, 12, Tim Hardaway Jr., 11, Tobias Harris, 13, Stewart, 6, and obviously getting some rebounds. You see guys doing what needs to do to go ahead and give themselves an opportunity to win every night. So I'm like what I'm seeing first from Cade Cunningham, and he's just got to continue to lead, continue to show that, we have a team here that can go ahead and get to the next step of where we're trying to go. So him doing what he's doing, I love what I'm seeing. They go ahead and face Thursday the Celtics, and then next week they go ahead and face the Miami Heat, and that one is in Detroit. So short and sweet for you. Obviously, we got my crew of people from the Wisconsin area that we, have on here, and Michigan area. We do have some other people that are going to be coming on to talk about the respective states of Minnesota and Chicago, aka Illinois. So be on the lookout for that. We will see you, obviously, this week again. Have a great day. Peace out.